G'day, my name's Tomo and welcome to another episode of Tomo's Tune-Ups. On this episode, we are talking about the two different types of half-moon seals available from Minisport. So this one here is somewhat flimsy, I guess, and this one here is quite rigid and stiff. So this one here comes in most engine rebuild kits or a reseal kit. This is highly recommended to replace if you are separating the gearbox from the engine. This seal goes on the harmonic balancer side of the engine, so where the fan belt is. So between the crankshaft and the gearbox, that is what seals the engine to the gearbox and prevents it leaking. These are quite common to leak on classic minis and mokes, so it is worthwhile replacing. Now this one here is a rigid type seal, so it's exactly the same, just obviously less flimsy. This was manufactured in the UK for the later style minis in the UK. I believe they were Rover, so I'm sure someone can comment on the particular application that they used on, but I'm fairly certain these were made for the MPI minis and the turboed minis, so they needed something to be able to replace while the engine is still in the car. Now you can replace this seal when it is still in the car. It is a little bit fiddly to do. You do need to remove the radiator, the fan belt, all the pulleys, remove the timing chain, cover, both front and rear covers. Once that's off, you then can pick it out with a pick. And you do run the risk though that if you are using a flimsy type seal or just the standard replacement seal, it can fall inside the gearbox, which then means engine comes out. Whereas this one here, you can fit this inside the car and have no worries at all because of the lip on the outside here that prevents it falling in, but also gives it a bit more rigidity. So once you've replaced it inside the car, all you need to do is just reassemble it, put new gaskets in, bleed the cooling system, and away you go. Top up the engine oil, and then that's pretty much it. So it is recommended that when you are replacing these, you do put a little bit of sealant. I like to use a little bit of aviation sealant on there. You don't need to put a lot on there, just a little bit on either side, just to make sure that it seals properly. It is an idea that if you're going to be upgrading or changing this seal, you might as well upgrade and buy this one. They are a couple of dollars difference. I'll put the cost difference down below, but for what it's worth, the couple of dollars this costs you, I think it's about 3 times more for a rigid seal. You might as well upgrade it. That's just my 2 cents, but I would prefer to use one of these over the standard replacement seal. So guys, make sure you check out all of the equipment and parts available from minisport.com.au, and we'll see you right here on another episode of Tomo's Tune-Ups.